So if you've been paying any attention at all to the massive shift in personalized health lately, you already know the demand for functional data is just skyrocketing. People want to know what's going on inside their bodies. But here's the catch. For a lot of wellness businesses, actually delivering that data, it's been a total logistical nightmare. Today, we're popping the hood on HealSoma. It's this fascinating B2B platform operating as the invisible infrastructure for wellness businesses, and it is literally rewriting how non-prescribing professionals offer lab testing.
Okay, let's quickly map out our blueprint for today. We're going to break down how this invisible wellness engine actually works, dive into what they call testing as your service, walk through their lab navigator assessment, check out the Soma AI integration, and finally, look at how all of this is empowering the broader wellness economy.
All right, let's jump right into that first piece, the invisible wellness engine itself. Most practitioners get into the wellness space for one simple reason. They genuinely want to help people. They want to offer functional lab testing to give their clients those deep root cause insights. But then, bam, they hit this massive wall of logistics. Just think about what it costs to build this out on your own. You're talking about securing wholesale relationships with labs, hiring a medical director, navigating complex legal reviews just to stay within your scope of practice, plus sorting out software and fulfillment. Honestly, standing that up independently can easily run into the tens of thousands of dollars, and that's before you've even sold a single test. But HealSoma completely flips the script here. They provide this pre-built infrastructure, so a business gets the lab relationships, the physician governance, and the compliance from day one with literally zero upfront investment. Instead of a massive capital drain, you're actually looking at margins on day one. It's a game changer.
The best way to think about it? It's exactly like how Shopify powers an online store, or how Stripe powers an online checkout. HealSoma acts as those invisible rails powering the testing side of a practitioner's business. Just like you don't really think about Stripe when you're buying a pair of shoes online, the client never sees HealSoma. The relationship stays entirely under the practitioner's brand. The partner keeps full ownership, while HealSoma is just quietly in the background handling the whole shebang.
Which brings us perfectly into how they actually package this with what they call testing as your service.
This is really the core of what they offer, giving non-prescribing businesses the superpower to offer functional testing directly to their clients. Now, functional testing goes way, way deeper than those standard panels most of us get at a quick 15-minute annual physical. We're talking about comprehensive tools here, things like the GI map, NutriVal, and Dutch tests. These are panels that surface true root cause wellness insights. We're looking at gut health, hormones, nutrient status, metabolic patterns, the works. It falls right into that frustrating gap between conventional care and how a person actually feels on a day-to-day basis. It's exactly the kind of data people are actively searching for right now.
But that raises a massive question, right? How on earth does a non-prescribing business do this responsibly and legally? Well, everything sits safely behind a physician governance wall. Basically, a medical director and a clinical team automatically govern the logic, the specific panels, and the language used. So the partners? They are kept strictly on the side of clinical education and support, never diagnosis, never medical interpretation. The platform is literally engineered to keep them on the right side of that legal line, automatically.
And by shifting all that heavy infrastructure, just look at the headaches the business owner completely avoids. No lab to run, no clinician to hire, zero prescribing, no legal liability for interpreting medical results, and absolutely no messy fulfillment logistics. All of that heavy lifting? It lives with HealSoma. Now, what if a client actually wants a clinician to review the results? The platform lets you bundle in an optional provider review, which delivers a comprehensive report with lifestyle and nutrition guidance. But the business owner themselves, they stay totally 100% out of the liability zone.
So the back end is sorted, but what does the actual client experience look like? Let's talk about the Lab Navigator assessment.
How do you actually get a client onboarded and solve those awkward logistics of getting someone tested? It turns out it's a completely seamless flow. Step 1, the client completes a guided assessment through a simple link. A practitioner can just drop this link in an Instagram DM, an email, or on their landing page. Step 2, all those crucial details, shipping address, date of birth, payment info, they're all quietly captured in the background. No more chasing down a client 3 days later for missing info. And finally, step 3, they land right in the partner's dashboard as a fully qualified, ready-to-order lead. It essentially turns a casual, hey, how are you feeling conversation directly into a structured, actionable client interaction.
Now, once that lead is ready, the platform gives the business 2 distinct paths to route them, depending on what fits best. First up is the referral route. Here, the client pays HealSoma's standard consumer pricing. It's highly accessible. We're talking HSA and FSA eligible, and the partner easily earns a commission. Total zero friction experience. But if you want more control, there's the white label storefront route.
With this one, the partner links to their own payment system, like Square or their own website, sets their own custom pricing, and keeps full control over the presentation and the margins.
All right, moving right along, let's get into the Soma AI business integration.
Because look, it's one thing to have a shiny new dashboard. It's a completely different thing to actually know how to sell and integrate this stuff into your daily workflow. That's exactly where Soma AI steps in. But we really need to define what it is in this context. It functions strictly as an integration and education assistant. It's there to bridge the gap between being handed a cool tool and knowing exactly how to use it compliantly out in the real world. To be clear, it is not acting as a clinical diagnostic engine. It's your business assistant.
So practically speaking, this AI generates highly tailored integration playbooks. Because obviously, a gym is going to integrate testing very differently than, say, a med spa or a holistic nutrition coach, right? Soma adapts to that specific context. It helps frame compliant client education so you know exactly what words to use when talking about a GI map without accidentally stepping out of bounds. It'll even feed you scripts for handling objections and positioning these tests naturally during everyday sales conversations. Basically, it ensures the business owner is never just winging it alone.
And I gotta say, this next part is where it gets incredibly fascinating. As the platform evolves and lab uploading comes online, Soma is aiming to process these results to bring personalized, vetted clinical education directly into the picture. But, and this is a massive but, it is entirely routed through the practitioner, not around them. It's building this self-contained system that can read an assessment and guide a client toward the right resources, all vetted inside the ecosystem. It just makes the platform exponentially more valuable to the practitioner over time. Which brings us to the big picture, empowering the wellness economy. So zooming out for a second, who is this invisible engine actually built to support? Well, the common thread running through all of this is non-prescribing businesses. These are the folks who sit way closer to their clients' daily lives than the traditional healthcare system ever could. We're talking about gyms and fitness studios that want to give their members a reason to go deeper than just lifting weights. Med spas, where clients who are investing in how they look also want to invest in how they feel on the inside. It's for health coaches, nutritionists, and chiropractors looking for a totally objective, compliant way to bring real lab-based insight into their work. Heck, even massive corporate wellness programs can plug into this infrastructure at scale. Because ultimately, the core mission sitting right underneath this platform's revenue model is access. It's about turning pure guesswork into real, data-backed connections. Every single practitioner who integrates the system essentially opens a door for a client who was previously told by conventional systems to just keep guessing. Keep guessing about their health, why their energy is tanking, or why they can't sleep. The revenue model? That's just the mechanism. The real mission here is getting these deep functional insights into the hands of the people who actually need them.
And it really all boils down to this one idea. We built it now so you don't have to. By literally handing wellness practitioners all the infrastructure, the strict compliance, the software, and the wholesale lab relationships that would normally take years and tens of thousands of dollars to build, they get a brand new way to serve their clients. They get a new stream of revenue, and they get to build an even deeper relationship with the people who already trust them, and they get to do it instantly.
Which leaves us with this final kind of provocative thought to chew on. When the friction of lab logistics, the nightmare of legal compliance, and the headache of fulfillment completely disappear into the background, when this infrastructure becomes truly invisible and silently democratizes access to functional testing across the entire industry, what on earth is the next frontier for personalized wellness? I mean, how far can preventative health actually go when the traditional barriers to entry are finally just removed? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer today, and as always, keep questioning the data.